Hello and welcome to DB Cargo's Toton Traction Maintenance Depot here in Nottinghamshire. This is one of Europe's largest railway maintenance facilities and home to the DB Cargo fleet of diesel locomotives. Today, DB Cargo's locomotive fleet comprises mainly Class 66 locomotives, but there is another class of locomotive that's just coming to the end of its career with DB Cargo. And we've been invited behind the scenes by Cavalex Models here to Toton Depot to see how they go about creating the sound profile for their next diesel locomotive. And this is the locomotive we've come to see. British Rail's Class 60 Type 5 heavy freight diesels were built by Brush Traction at Loughborough in the late 1980s and early 1990s. 100 of these Coco diesels were built for use by BR's rail freight coal, construction, metals and petroleum subsectors. They were designed to operate the heaviest freight trains on the rail network, and all 100 of the fleet transferred to EWS upon the sale of BR's former load haul, mainline and Transrail businesses in 1996. Withdrawals started around 2004, although plans were revealed in 2011 for a series of Super 60 overhauls to be undertaken to ultimately create a fleet of 20 serviceable locomotives, extending their operational lives by 15 years. These were intended for use on the heaviest services operated by EWS within the aggregates, petroleum and steel portfolios. In more recent times, examples have been acquired by Colas Rail Freight, GB Rail Freight and DC Rail, and most recently 12 locomotives were acquired earlier this year for use by Land Recovery. 2024 also saw DB Cargo call time on the Class 60 fleet, with all remaining members of the class now withdrawn from revenue service, following the re-gearing of several Class 66 diesels to help cover for the shortfall in Type 5 availability. Cavalex Models' all-new 00 gauge Class 60 is progressing at pace, and one of the final pieces of the jigsaw for the project is development of a bespoke Class 60 sound profile in conjunction with digital sound experts ESU, as Cavalex's Alex Perkins explains.
So we're here today at DB's Toton Depot to sound record a Class 60 for our Class 60 project. So we're working with ESU after the success of our Class 56 to record, for them to record the sound ready for our sound file to be generated for the project. So the first stage of the process was for us to discuss internally what we wanted to achieve from the day, then to speak to people behind the scenes that help us and people that work for DB that have the knowledge of the class, so then we could understand what we wanted to achieve on the day to get the most out of the sound recording to help us replicate the real sound on our model. So when we arrived this morning, we'd already pre-prepared a list of sounds that we wanted to record, and then we drew on the knowledge and experience of the two drivers that kindly helped us today to get their input. Then we had a meeting with ESU to put across what we hope to achieve from that list and get their input, so then ESU were fully aware of what we were trying to achieve to help maximise the visit. So we've been recording first of all static sounds from the battery isolation switch to the bell, to the AWS, door slamming, to start up, cold and warm start, engine idling, different notches. Then after that we took the loco up to the yard, put on some wagons to give it a bit of load to get a difference in engine tone, so then we could capture sort of all the different sounds to cover the full range of sounds needed for the sound file. It's very important because whilst these obviously are very bassy engine, there is a slight difference in sound under load, so we wanted to replicate having a load on the back of the loco, so then when we have the model with wagons on the back of load, there will be a difference in sound, so then it's an authentic sound being recreated on the model. Following on from the 56, what we'd like to do is, we call it the driver experience. We want to put the owner, the customer of the model in the driver's seat, so when they are driving it, it is as realistic when compared to the real thing as we possibly can recreate within the constraints of the technology available today. So whether it's light engine or it's got a heavy load, it will I suppose reproduce that in model form. So the next stage will be ESU will go away with the sound files. We'll have several conversations with ESU to tell them how we'd like the sound file to be set up for the driver experience, and work closely together to tailor the sound file as we want it. Then when we get our pre-production samples next month, ESU will get a sample from the factory. They will then put a speaker in, put a sound file on a chip, burn it, test it, do what they need to do, tweak it, and then send it to us. So our Class 60 are available from our retailers, a list of which is on our website, and they can pre-order them now, and they're due at the end of January 2025.
Well, it's been fascinating to see behind the scenes here at Toton Depot and to see the sound profile being created for the new Cavalex Class 60. Thank you to Cavalex Models and to DB Cargo for all their assistance in inviting us down here to see behind the scenes, as they have. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Keep an eye out for details on the Cavalex Models Class 60 at keymodelworld.com, and you can purchase your models, of course, pre-order them at Cavalex Models too. Find out all the details at their website. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.